Thank you very much. Imagine yourself with a prepared mind. What do I mean by that? Well, a long time ago, I got some news that was not very fun for me personally, because a doctor with good intentions said, well, you have IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, and there's nothing you can do. Well, I don't know about you, but in my family, nothing you can do is an illegal statement. You can't go to jail for it, but you can sure mess things up if you believe that. So I was fortunate to grow up with parents and grandparents who didn't believe in the phrase, nothing you can do. You know, one grandparent had been to war, grandmas had helped nurture the family through lean times of the dirty 30s. They knew hard times, and they knew the phrase, nothing you can do, is a falsehood. So fortunately for me, I was within 40-minute drive of a university, and this was a while ago. So before we had Dr. Google, we had librarians with master's degrees of library science and information, and I got to meet the most outstanding professional. Why are you here, Michael? What are we looking for? Let me go check. But I know we've had 2 universities publish papers on dealing with chronic health issues. So let's see what we can find just for you. Now, you're not going to use this for business, are you? No. So you brought nickels, dimes, and quarters so we can photocopy it and you can go home with it? Good. I won't tell if you won't. Whew, she never did. So I looked, took it home, I read, and it was like, oh, so there's no cure, but if I do these skills, I can have 20% less symptoms and less intensity and less frequency. Wow, that's 1/5 less? That's pretty remarkable. And that's for the average person. And hopefully you don't think you're average. You know, some people have exceptional glasses. I'm a little jealous, I noticed. And then some of us have incredible fitness levels, and it goes from there. So I started to practice. And then I read further into the research that it could be 30+% cheaper to take care of myself if I practice these skills. Well, now you got my complete attention. Less frequency, intensity, et cetera, and 30% cheaper? Well, I like a deal. This is good. So that got me started, and that's why I developed a model, because when life happens, there's usually 2 basic responses. We can go here and shrink away from the issue, and for a little while, that's good. Stay safe, keep a low profile, what's going on, assess it. But we gotta be careful. It's easy to stay stuck here. Whereas it happens, and if we brain train ourselves, a prepared mind, we can go, that's not fun, that wasn't safe, that wasn't comfortable, that wasn't whatever it is. But what do I need to learn to manage it, to cope with it? Who can I ask for help from? How can I get help? What will it cost? Where will I go? Ask and start to learn to process and deal with it. So that's where the idea of a prepared mind came from. Start with the end in mind, as you saw. What do we need? Well, first, what's your beliefs and values? I can't speak for your life, but I had, bless my parents, told that I had certain skills and gifts, and I should just do what I can with them because that'll take me a long way. And I have a couple of things that were going to slow me down, and just don't trip over them. So my grade 1 teacher had a gift. She wrote my parents a note in the first month of my grade 1. Michael has a couple of challenges with his printing, and I'm part of the 1% that printing and writing. Offer me $1 million to have neat printing and writing, keep your money. And by grade 2, we found out Michael all had spelling and grammar issues. Offer me $10 million to spell things like endoplasmic reticulum in grade 9, keep your money. But I could talk about the information really well, but spell it, write it, print it, no. So that teacher didn't say I was terrible at printing and writing. She said I had some challenges, but I had gifts for the classroom and gifts in the playground that would make me excel when I got out of school. So just do his best, help him keep doing his best, don't give up, get your grade 12, go on to other things, bigger things, and you'll do really well. Just don't let spelling, grammar, and printing and writing get in the way. So by grade 10, making a whole blistering $3 an hour, I bought myself a $500 typewriter. Fast forward, high school reunion at 55 years old, and my one teacher. When you brought the typewriter, suddenly we could read your essays. That's why your marks went up. Before that, we guessed that's why you got a lot of 65s to 70s. We couldn't read a thing. I said, well, I could barely print it. Never mind, you understand it. So, a prepared mind. How have you allowed life so far to define you? Some things define us as smart, uplifting, go forward. Other things, some people want to define us as less than. They don't like the way we look. They don't like the way we sound. They don't like the way we dress. They don't like something about us. I once had my poor brother who followed me into high school have a teacher say, I know what you're like. I dealt with your brother. Could you be goofier? Not impressed. So that's my polite language. A teacher that talks like that is goofy. I have stronger language one-on-one, but you know. So pay attention to how you've allowed others to define you. Some of that is uplifting and helps you go forward and accomplish much, but some of it gets in the way. So I had somebody that was a part of the family group, and on occasion she'd come up with the rudest things. And my mother used to hover, and I couldn't understand as a kid why, but later in life I realized she was protecting me. What did that person say to you? Turns out she said I had a big nose that was too big for my face. I was 5. Really great thing for a 30-odd-year-old to say. You get really much older, you find out that they had an abusive childhood and they were just passing on what they knew. Doesn't excuse the behavior from a 30-plus-year-old, but I can now understand it. So pay attention to how you've allowed others to define you. Be careful of the marketing. I have a marketing education. So, you know, if you just wear the right cologne, gentlemen, drive the right car, you'll be a little handsomer to all the ladies. Who cares? But a little bit of that is fun. But just don't let it be how it defines you in everything. I mean, you know, we have a couple of people that have wore very awesome hats, but it doesn't make them more fashionable than the rest of us. They just happen to look awesome with a fashionable hat. Now people are going, where? Who? It's red. That's the code color of the day, too. It doesn't hurt. So how have you defined yourself? Some things uplift us, move us forward. Some things are like a negative anchor that hold us back. And then some things can confuse us because they're a mixed message. So be careful. Do some, I call it emotional homework. Get that intellectual, emotional broom out and say, does this still hold true? Yes? Push it over into the I believe. Is this old news that I should throw out? Push it over here, throw it away. I had once somebody tell me I was an exceptionally good singer. No, I was an exceptionally good mimic with good hearing. The guy I sat beside in class was the singer with perfect pitch. I just copied him. So I know I'm an okay singer, because that's the truth, but I don't have perfect pitch. But thank heavens to Robert, I sailed through the singing part of that class with ease. So 4 phrases I want you to consider. I am. Who are you? How have you defined yourself? I am respectful and friendly. I have friends, acquaintances, and connections that I try and attempt to always uplift and be gentle but respectful if I see them making a mistake that's going to hurt them in some way. But that's the point, right? If we don't look out for each other, what is it really, a friendship or a connection worthy of having? And then I have a business friend who's probably 40 by now, and he can write the best business proposals. It'll rock your socks. It's just like, wow. He doesn't keyboard. He prints his proposals. They're amazing. I have penmanship envy, by the way. So that's the first thing. But the content is the best. I've seen hundreds of proposals. His are always the best. His I cans are amazing. His challenges is the next piece is the I do's. His implementation is a solid 2 out of 10. And even though some of us offer to help for free, no, he's going to get to it, and he's gone bankrupt twice. And it's sad because he's stuck on the asking for help in the I do part. So the I do is we do, but then, I know it sounds like a bad song, who do we do ask for help? Who do we do know that could offer insight? So take a look at your beliefs and values, and what are you for the I am piece? Who do you have in your life for the I have? Who have you pulled in to help? I can. What are your action points, your planning? And what are you actually taking action on? The I do part. Because those are all things for your beliefs and values that push you forward. If I'd have listened to my first mental health digestive tract expert, I'd probably be at home sucking my thumb going, there's nothing I can do. A lot of bleeding, pant size, 2 sizes of pant sizes. I was a teenager at the time, so I was, to quote my auntie, skinny mini. A 28 waist or a 35-inch waist when things were not going well. So if I'd listened to the expert, who with good intention, nothing you can do. And after I found the research and visiting him on my yearly, why didn't you tell me? Oh, that's not our model. So I'm not anti-expert, but just be careful of taking experts at 100%. A long time ago, an expert said, my toe joint is disconnected. There's nothing you can do. And I said, well, I can't walk. It hurts too much. And bathroom in the middle of the night like this? No. I went to a pain clinic, got orthotics, and now it's a 1 out of 1,000. It buzzes when I do that. It says, hi, I don't work perfectly anymore. So I am, I have, I can, and I do. So first of all, awareness. How aware of you are you? I respectfully commented on awesome glasses. Bet you they were on purpose because they look fabulous. I mentioned somebody has a red hat that looks fabulous. Even with the lights, I can still see them. So how aware of you are you? I like to have my comfortable days. After today, we'll be driving home for 8.5 to 9 hours. You see me in driving time, jeans, shirt, jean jacket, vest, hat. Look like I'm, Nanook of the North as a tryout. But that's only a piece of who I am, not all the time. I'm not going to go home dressed like this. If there's a snowbank with my name on it, there isn't, but if there was, I'm ready to have a fight with the snowbank because I got the shovel in the back seat. I'm prepared. So awareness. What do you do to stay aware? I once got a call from another country saying, could you check on my mother? She seems to be anxious. She had 3 TVs on to 3 different news stations on the 20-minute news cycle and a radio station. All news all the time. And this was a high-quality professional in her day who'd retired, spouse has died, and she was lonely. Well, they bring me comfort, dear. I said, one of them, I totally get it. But you got 3 of them on, and they're all out of sync. 3 different stations, 2 different countries. Then you got the radio, and they're all loud enough you can hear in your whole apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, 1,000 square feet. I said, I get anxious just coming into the door. I said, so I boldly request you turn 2 off. One's the main one, and then turn the other one way down so you can just go listen to it quietly. Oh, you think that'll make a difference? It did. So I want you to consider when you're confronted with adversity, one of 2 things happen. We shrink away, that's normal. We look around, go, what is it? How do I deal with it? Who else has experienced it? Be careful of people that tell you there's nothing you could do, because fib. And then over here, awareness. Wonder who else has had this experience. I wonder if there's any books about it. Is there a podcast? Is there a newsletter? Is there a video? I don't know about you, but my local public library is just awesome. Between hardcover and online videos and audios, it's a treasure trove. And then, of course, if I bring my ID, I can go to the university's libraries too, where I get access to different information. So stretching or shrinking, not good or bad. It's okay to be over here and shrink for a little while. Don't live there. I met somebody who's in their 40s now. When I was in the hospital, one of my trips, he's still stuck. He's got the same health issue as me, other than the cancer, and he's like, well, the doctor said there's nothing I can do. And I said, well, I didn't say it this bluntly, but you're living in your mother's basement, and it's been 30 plus years, and there's the research. Go live a life. You're smart, you're handsome, you're intelligent. You should be out having fun. He's stuck. He's really stuck. So it doesn't make him a less than. I'm just sad for him because he should be out sharing his talents and gifts with the world. So stretching or shrinking, what processes and skills do you have? So primary skill for me is, first of all, working on calmness. You might notice I have some energy. So, oh, I heard that giggle. My whole life, I practice calmness. Some days I'm very good at it, and some days, less than. So here's an alternative nostril breathing exercise that I highly recommend. They actually have proven through MRI that it changes neural pathways. It improves them. So you put your finger on your nose, breathe in, count to 3 seconds. I didn't breathe through my nose because I'm congested. I cheated. Then you hold it, then you breathe out. Other side, breathe in on 3. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. And if you want to be calmer still, do 4, 4, and 4, or 5, 5, and 5. Just not while you're driving any vehicle, whether it's motorized, pedal, electric. I don't want a lawyer's letter saying, and then they hit a post, and I'll be like, I warned you. No empathy. So breathing, and there's dozens of breathing skills. I met a yoga teacher here earlier today, and she knows more about it than me, but I provide 12 breathing skills when I work with groups because it's really important to practice breathing. Then what do you focus on? Are you a bitter or a better kind of person? I tend to believe the best of everybody until their behavior teaches me otherwise. I could look at the gentleman with the great luxurious beard. I tried that twice and it looked like the caterpillar was dying and the chemo was sending things the wrong direction. I gave up. But I'm not follically envious. I just think, he looks handsome like that. I tried. I had big patches, didn't work. So what do you focus on? Stretching, shrinking, bitter, better. At one point, I read that up to 80% of what some people think is all framed in the negative. It's gonna snow. I can't go to that group meeting. Well, yeah, it's gonna snow at 11 o'clock tonight if the weather people are right. And when weather people in hundreds of counties are all saying the same thing on all the major stations, and the national weather people in the US and Canada saying the same thing, I think they're probably right, give or take an hour or 3. So I'm here, we didn't run home. So how do you focus? Where do you focus? Because, if 80% of what you think is done in the negative, it's got to be really tough to be you. So pay attention to how do you frame things. Yes, you want to stay safe, but pay attention to it. Movement. How do you move? I get to work with some special needs kids on occasion, and currently I've got some high IQ kids. Nothing like a young lady in grade 6 who's more sophisticated than some of my adult friends. And so we talked about calmness and focus. And I don't teach meditative walking to teenagers or youth or adults or seniors. I teach them slow walking, turtle walking, tortoise walking. It's almost all the same thing, but about their movement should be calming, even if they're in a hurry. So slow walking is going so slow you almost fall over, but it gets you to concentrate and you can't worry about anything if you're worried about or thinking about falling over. And it slows your brain down, slows your body down. So movement, what do you do for movement, for focus and concentration? And processes. Many years ago, my father taught me preparation for riding a bicycle from a tricycle. Steering, balance, braking, going backwards. I'm old enough, there was no calipers and brakes. So when it's time to go to bicycle and graduate at 5 years old to the bicycle, to use NLP terms, he didn't talk preparation, they say pre-framing. Okay, so you know how to steer, you know how to brake, you're good at safety, looking both ways, you know how to move forward, now balance. So that was the pep talk on pre-framing or preparation. So as I'm doing it, he's holding the back seat, we're in the country with big chunks of gravel, hard for this kid at 5 to balance, going along like that. Okay, you're steering well, you're braking well, your safety, the lights are at the stop sign is very good. You just have to practice your balance, my boy. So that was in the moment, and then it was all done, the same review. Great steering, great braking, good safety, good pedaling. You just have to practice your balance. And me being me, it took me a full summer and a half to get the balance right. So it took my time. But take a look at what process do you have to learn something new? Because your process and my process could be very different. And years ago, I worked for a Mr. Bill Scott, and I thought this was uniquely his till Dr. Google came along, and I found out that the US, the Canadians, and the British all claim this as their own from the 18th century. Proper prior preparation promotes peak performance. So when I was a retail consultant, my trainer, Trevor Hunt, Michael, it's a phrase, it's a metaphor. I don't mean it literally. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. In other words, break it down into pieces so that you don't get overwhelmed. And it was one of the biggest gifts I ever got from my sales trainer, Trevor, break it down into pieces. So as I mentioned earlier, pre-frame, frame, and reframe. And last and not least, pursue excellence, not perfection. Things might be perfect, but us humans, darn it, gosh all anyways, aren't. I teased my poor mother that I wanted to know if there was a warranty when I had my health issues. She said, no, you had the first 12 months. You didn't sign up for extended warranty. You're out of luck. So I asked, spare parts? Ask your brothers. They said, no. Some family. So imagine yourself with a prepared mind. Thank you for your time and attention. Enjoy these talks, and it's been great to be here.